This episode is brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Business owners, meet Progressive Insurance. They make it easy to get discounts on commercial auto insurance and find coverages to grow with your business. Quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, dear listener. Welcome to yet another preview show of the Dockers Debate podcast. I am with the usual grommet to my Wallace, that is Rob Grant. How are we, Rob?
Watcher, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Nice one, mate. Hoping that people might listen to this on Valentine's Day to get them in the mood. You never know how this show could go. And talking of smooth operators, who's just took a big swig of his blackcurrant juice. He didn't think we saw that. It's our man in the van, the bricklayer Callum from Diltang. Callum, you all right, mate?
Hi, mate. You all right?
All good, all good. How are we today?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. How are you? All right?
I have to say, the 11 o'clock is the weirdest lunch hour I've ever heard in my life. What time do you start? About 3 o'clock?
Nah, 8, and then break at 11, mate.
Oh, nice one, nice one. Thanks for coming on, mate. It's a bit like the old Scaffold boys meeting again this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, like they had Scaffold boys. Yeah, I think it'll be a tough game Saturday, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it brings all the ones that the previous meetings that we've had before. Always good games against Erith, so we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah, so it's always a good little atmosphere when we play you guys. It's one of the places, you know, like when you look at the calendar and you see midweek and you think, I ain't going here. There's always a bit with me and Rob where we think, do you know what? We'll go down to Deal. We have a bit of a laugh down there. We like to sit in the home end and have interesting conversations, if you will, with some of your lot. But I'll tell you what, we'll talk about how you're getting on at the moment. How are you finding the league at the moment? I mean, because you're up in 9th, doing pretty well. Bit of a slow start, but now you're on that magic 40 points that should keep you safe.
Yeah, I think we're doing really well at the moment. I think we had a good start to the season, I think, and then that's gave us that little bit of oomph. But after Christmas, I think we're just struggling with a bit of injuries. But now I think it's a good achievement at the moment just to be sat mid-table. But yeah, no, I think we're doing all right, not too bad.
I have to say, just quickly, before Rob jumps in with his stats, you have got to be, arguably, if you look at the table, possibly the most entertaining team to watch this season, because you've played 30, won 13, lost 16. You've drew 1 out of 30.
Yeah, I think as a fan, it's a bit frustrating, but we do have the entertaining sort of factor. But yeah, who wants to draw games, eh?
No, absolutely. It's like rugby or hockey, isn't it? Who cares? Or the Super Bowl? Who cares about a boring 1-1 on a Tuesday against Sheppey?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's funny because I know you started well, and yet, like Michael said earlier, you have that magic sort of 40-point mark, which is good. You can now sit there and basically say, well, we're safe. We're in this league now next season, and we can consolidate and all that kind of stuff. But form-wise, it's not been good for you. I mean, you've lost 5 out of your last 6. You did beat Sevenoaks Town, but you've been on a sort of downward trajectory. So is it just purely down to injuries? Do you think it'll pick up, or do you think there's something worse going on? Have you lost anyone?
I wouldn't know say. I think probably down to more injuries and everything, but I think we've won most of the games aside the top 5 at home. Maybe the conception is Ashford, but otherwise than that, we've been quite solid at home for like a bit of a fortress sort of thing. But we've had a couple of good, like 3 or 4 away results. But yeah, I'll probably put it down to injuries and stuff. And yeah, it's just one of them, I think. But yeah, the form guide's not the best at the moment. But hopefully it all changes on Saturday.
We'll see, because you're
hopefully for you.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, you're only Erith Town are only 3 points behind you. But we got 4 games in hand, and we've got to want to pick up at least 6 points out of those 4 games, and probably more. And we've still got to go to Phoenix, where you had a bit of a problem. So last time you played Phoenix, so which was, to be fair, was a shocker to everyone. So to be honest, I don't think, the reality is given the number of games played, you've played 30, we've only played 26. I don't think there's a lot between us in terms of what's going on the pitch.
No, not at all. Probably your Phoenix game that you keep talking about is horrendous weather, pitch, and officials, but we'll leave it as that. But,
apart from that, it was a blinder.
yeah, blinder for you. But nah, I think it's one of them. Phoenix are a good side. Like they're gonna get decent results. Obviously, they got results, but yeah, it's one of them. But we'll be all right. No, with Erith and Dill, I think there's not a lot between the teams really. Obviously, as you say, it's just them 3 games, but we know a lot about Erith, and Erith knows a lot about us. So,
well, do you know what? Funny thing you say that it's a really odd one to describe. It's a bit like, for me personally, it's a bit like, you know how Crystal Palace and Brighton have this weird little rivalry, even though they're miles apart. Like when Erith played Dill, I don't know about you, Rob, but when you're involved from an Erith point of view, there's always that little bit of a spark there. And I think because obviously we were both 2 promoted sides last year, we faced each other in the cup semi-final or the Challenge Cup, where obviously Dill went up, and then we needed, to win by a certain amount of goals, and we did. I think it was 4-2 we won, didn't we, at our place? But then you won the cup, win the league, and then we won in our place to start the season. So there's a bit of a hoodoo. What I love about Erith Dill games is you genuinely don't know what's going to happen.
No, you don't. You don't. I think obviously going back to when we was in the Skeffel, I think you needed to win or something to get in the was it the playoffs? And I think we beat you at home.
Oh, but, thanks for that one. Yeah.
That cup always haunts me when we won 4-2. But it's always good against Erith. Like they're one of their teams, are very resilient, and we know. I think our manager was saying we probably know everything about Erith, and we've played them that much that it's always going to happen. It's always, emotions are going to be high. Some drama always happens against Erith, so hopefully it comes again on Saturday. And that's
what we're saying. It's a weird one. It does have that little bit of a feel of a derby for me. It really does. Like when the fixtures come out, I remember like me and Rob. Obviously, we do some bits with graphics and all that, and it was like, oh, who we got first game of the season? Who we got last game of the season? When we got Dill. When it was literally that. It was hilarious. But no, do you know what? I keep saying this. I've always said before, like I actually don't mind Dill away. I think it's a good little day out. It's a proper, because of the travel. It's a proper away day. Just don't drive back when they close the motorways. Hey, Rob.
No, don't have one of them 4-hour drive homes where you're going down all these tiny little side roads and you're thinking, where am I? Where am I in the world? Like, please. I was talking to Rob last time we went Dill away. We had an early start. We had to get up early because obviously we had to finish work early to get down there. And I remember I'd when you have that little nod off in the car like that. So I put my head down, woke up about 20 minutes later, and I'm like, we're still on the same country lane. A mile from the ground.
It's a beautiful place once, obviously if you live in it and watch football in it. But yeah, it's one of them. It's like you either love it or you obviously, like you say, you're still in the same country lanes. But it's a little small place, but it's a great place, really.
Yeah, we always have a good time there. I mean, one of the reasons why I always look forward to it is, it's like Michael was saying, we like to, when we're doing the pod like live and we're doing like the commentary stuff and talking about the game, we like to talk very loudly about things that are not entirely true in the home end. And it always sparks what we laughingly call a little bit of debate with the home fans, and it's nice because some of them treat it as banter and it's all good fun, but some of them get really riled up and they take it way too seriously. So that's always good fun.
I think you can argue as well. Like if you want to have stupid non-league awards, I think Dill's got the best windbreaker stand in the league, because there's always a little corner. The bit behind the dugouts, Callum, when you're in the main stand, and then like sort of that little bit to the bottom left of the stand. The way that's positioned, I say to Rob, I ain't moving from there. I don't care how far away the bar is. Yeah. I ain't moving. But no, about looking at some of your players, who's been your danger man this season?
Our biggest danger man is probably Tom Chapman. I think halfway through the year, obviously after Christmas, I think he's been in and around goals more of the year. But I think Ash Miller's been picking it up recently. And I think the knock to Rory Smith and especially Aaron Milbank at the start of the season proper gives the goals away. But yeah, no, I'll probably say Tom Chapman, Ash Miller. They've always got a goal in them. They always can win you a game. So they're probably the most exciting players. But yeah, no, there's loads of them I could probably say, but they're probably ones that step out.
Tom Chapman is on 16 goals for the season, which is pretty good going. But right behind him is a guy called Ifeoni.
Yeah, Ifeoni. He's just a player that we brought in a couple of years ago now. I think at the end of when we won the Skeffel. But now, yeah, he's a really good talent, got good ability. But now, yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, but you're another one of those teams that, like, you know, you've got, like you say, Tom Chapman. I bet Tom and Ben Chapman related, or they just have the same second name?
No, they're brothers.
All right, okay, that makes sense. So we look at them, and you've got Ash, Billy Mundy, Macamurray. I mean, you've spread the goals around. I know Tom Chapman's like your main man, but you spread the goals around, which is always good. You know, always good going into any game, knowing that a goal can come from anywhere.
Yeah, I think we're one of them teams that, like you say, you spread them around. Like you're not like your Joe Taylors or that one from Beckenham, that Louis, whatever his name is. But it's like we are obviously when you got your target striker man who's out at the start of the season, you suffer a bit of individual goals. But like we've passed it about this season, like we have like the last couple of seasons. But as long as someone pops out of a goal and we get the 3 points, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. One thing I was going to say though, you're saying about the sharing out the goals, Rob, and Callum, you saying about like how you ain't got that one out and out proper 30 goal season striker yet. You're the third highest goal scorers in the league, and you're ninth. I mean, it's you're back in the fourth tier. You're ninth. You know, you're a few points off the playoffs. You have a decent little run. You're up there. Do you, as fans, maybe like without slagging anyone off or anything like that? Do you think if only we was a bit tighter at the back, there's a chance we could be challenging this year?
I don't think this year. I think we just.
I only say that because you've scored a lot of goals compared to basically you take out the top two, you're the top goal scorers in the league by 3 goals, which is a game in itself.
Yeah, I've obviously that's a great achievement. Obviously from the attacking players and stuff like that. But I think I don't know. I even if we tightened up, like as you say, but I don't know. That's down to the manager really. But
So it's his fault.
I don't want to like say anything.
So it's all his fault. So you had it first year, deal management and committee. Callum reckoned you're the reason, not the players or the fans or the ground or the waterlogged pitch because of the groundsman. It's purely on the management. It's your fault.
Nah, like all joking aside, I think if we could have got tighter, we probably would be up there. Like I think because we some of our players just been hit by so many bad injuries. Like it's just one of them. Like every club has it, don't they? And I don't know. It happens. I think the thing is, but I think if we tightened up and maybe brought in a few players that are experienced, like next year and stuff. But if our first season, mid-table, you'd take it at the start of the season. So
that's exactly the thing. And I think the thing is as well, if you have a look, I'm just like looking at some other league tables as we speak. You know, like as silly as it sounds, I'm even looking at the Premier League table. You know, in the sense that, you know, you don't actually start seeing minus figures for goal difference until you get to about 12th. You know, in the Championship, let's have a quick look here as well. So in the Championship, the minus goals start coming in. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday have got it there, but they start coming in about 12th, 13th, 14th, and even then it's like -1, -2. The Isthmian division, like you're a top 10 side. What, 3 points off the playoffs, 5 points off the playoffs for a couple of games in hand? You're on a minus goal difference. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it just, for me, that just sums up why non-league football's so unpredictable and so exciting. Because any other division, just if you chucked a name out like a top tier division, you don't have teams who are pushing for promotion being in non-league, or that consistently from 9th, with exception of Erith downwards, all being in negative goal difference.
No, I think obviously with the negative goal difference, I think we just all we do is score goals, and obviously some people say you just got to score goals to win games, but it's one of them. I think we've probably just got to improve it next year and bring the right players in,
Well, that's the
hopefully it
thing.
tightens up.
That's the thing, and you say that, and like, I mean, I'm not. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying it in a negative way, in the sense that, you know, all the teams from ninth down are shocking because they've let in loads of goals. Because you've got some absolute juggernauts in this league. You know, you look at the top two. Ramsgate, they've scored 87. Sittingbourne have scored 89. The next two down have scored 58 and 54. You've got 73 points, 77 points, 62, 60. Even third and fourth, who are miles behind first and second, are miles ahead of fifth and sixth. So when you play against them and you are a little bit short of the back or you're a bit depleted, you're going to let in goals, even if you've got a good side. I mean, I think this is why, to a point, I know like we've got you on to talk about Dill, but I think you can probably see just how big an achievement it is for Erith. Erith played 4 out of those. In the last 5 games, we've played the top 3 4 times. I think we've only let in 3 goals.
Yeah, I think that's credit to you and your back four. I think we probably played the top 5 all before Christmas.
Yeah,
I think we've only got Burgess Hill left after Christmas, and that's away as well, which would be tough. But it is what it is, isn't it? But you just got to try, and we've got Mersham as well as another good side. That's away too. But like you say, it's one of them, innit? But obviously, credit to your back four.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, if you look at Sittingbourne, like we say it regularly on the show, and you look at Burgess Hill and Ramsgate, they're regularly scoring 3 4 goals past you. So you're unless you do a little bit like Erith have done, again, not just patting us on the back, but I think any team, even in any kind of decent form, is going to get a bit of a hammering, isn't they?
Yeah. Like you say, I think your Ramsgates and your Sittingbournes, they just score goals for fun, don't they? And Burgess Hill and other ones, but we can only concentrate on ourselves.
Absolutely. And let's go back to the game. What are you expecting? A big, exciting one? What are you expecting? The usual deal here, if it's probably going to end up 5-3 and the podcasters are going to have a row. What you thinking?
Hopefully, obviously, they'll get the 3 points. I think there's always something happens. Deal Erith. There's always drama. Your manager brings some drama, doesn't he? So something will happen. Something will happen, and it's probably just another one in the history books. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, there's a bumper crowd. Players play well, and it'll be a good game of football.
What do you reckon, Rob? Because you've had a couple of good days out at Erith that have been filmed in the arcades.
I have, yeah. So, I mean, I'm going by the form guide because it's the only thing I can go by, really. And whilst neither team is actually running away with it, I think we are doing better against, our defence is doing better, especially against those top teams. And I think it'll be a really good game, but I think it'll be a draw because both teams are sort of. I'm going to sit on the fence. I know you hate people sitting on the fence, but I think it'll be a draw because I reckon both teams are going to go for it. We're still going to be a little bit rusty because we've had so many games cancelled recently, and it's always going to be a tough game.
Do you know what? I might join you on the fence. I think it might be a cheeky little Desmond Tutu.
Yeah.
Callum, what do you reckon the score's going to be? Where's the game won and lost for Dill?
It's probably, as you say, is our conceding the goal. So I think we're going to win 2-1.
Oh, 2-1. Well,
last minute winner.
Well, what's your? I mean, I don't know if you'll promote this too much, but what's your message going to be to the boys when you're bricklaying and they're listening to this while they're doing so? Get back to work.
Get back to work, probably. Yeah. I still haven't had my break yet, so get back to work.
Get back to work, lads. Well, no, Callum, honestly, mate, thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
No, honestly, mate, yeah, be good. And as usual, please do the usual and buy the podcast as a pint when we turn up.
Will do, mate. I'll keep my eye out for you.
Nice one. Cheers, Callum. Thanks, mate. Take care, yeah?
Cheers, Callum.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.